You ever get the feeling there's some kind of hidden stressor working against you, maybe even while you're fast asleep? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain on a condition that affects millions of people but is still super misunderstood. We're talking about bruxism. Let's get into what it is, what's causing it, and, most importantly, what you can actually do about it.
So, if you're waking up and your jaw feels like it just went 10 rounds in a boxing match, listen up. You are definitely not alone. That dull headache, that soreness right in your face, it could all point to this one simple concept you've probably never even heard of. You might be losing your freeway space.
Okay, so what in the world is this freeway space? Honestly, this is one of the biggest myths in oral health. Your teeth, they're not supposed to be touching all the time. Nope. When your jaw is fully relaxed, there should be this natural little gap, about 2 to 4 millimeters, between your top and bottom teeth. That's your jaw's happy place.
And this right here is the ideal posture. Lips are gently together, but, and this is the key, your teeth are apart. Your tongue should just be resting lightly on the roof of your mouth. The best way to think about it is like putting your car in neutral. Your jaw muscles get to switch off. They're not firing, not working. That tension you feel, that's your jaw being stuck in drive all day.
So, this state of constant muscle engagement, it's not just a bad habit. It actually has a medical name. And that brings us to the formal clinical diagnosis.
The official term is bruxism, and it's defined as an oral parafunctional activity, which is really just a fancy way of saying your jaw muscles are working overtime when they have no reason to be. This usually shows up in two main ways. You've got static clenching, where you're just biting down super hard, and then there's dynamic grinding, which is that side-to-side or back-and-forth motion.
Now, it's really important to know that bruxism isn't just one thing. We actually split it into two totally different conditions. On one hand, you have awake bruxism. This happens during the day, and it's often a subconscious thing you do when you're stressed or really focused. It's mostly clenching. On the other hand, you've got sleep bruxism, which is a whole different beast. It's a sleep-related movement disorder. It's involuntary. It involves some seriously powerful grinding, and it needs a completely different game plan to manage.
And when I say powerful, I am not kidding. When you're asleep, your body's natural protective reflexes, they're kind of turned down. This means you can unleash a staggering amount of force while grinding. We're talking up to 250 pounds. That is an incredible, uncontrolled force that can do some major, major damage.
So the big question is, what's causing all this intense activity? Well, it's not as simple as you might think. We're really looking at a complex, multifactorial puzzle here.
You know, for decades, everyone just blamed a bad bite or crooked teeth, but we now know that's pretty much a myth. Modern research has shown us that the control center for bruxism isn't in your teeth at all, it's in your brain.
The main drivers are psychological, rooted deep in our central nervous system. Especially for that daytime bruxism, things like stress, anxiety, and frustration are the big culprits. It also seems to be more common in people who have those competitive, always-in-a-hurry personality types. Sound familiar?
And our daily habits, they can absolutely pour fuel on the fire. Stimulants are huge here. We're talking about lots of caffeine, tobacco, smokers are literally twice as likely to have bruxism, and heavy alcohol use. Heck, even some common medications, like certain antidepressants, can trigger it or make it worse.
Okay, and this part is so crucial. Bruxism can be a massive red flag for some really serious medical conditions. The biggest one, the one everyone needs to know about, is its link with obstructive sleep apnea. For about half of adults with OSA, it's thought that the grinding is actually your body's subconscious reflex trying to push the jaw forward to open up a collapsing airway. It's also linked to acid reflux and neurological disorders, and yep, it can even run in families. If you're a sleep grinder, getting checked for sleep apnea is non-negotiable. It's that important.
So, with causes this complex, it's probably no surprise that just ignoring the problem can lead you down a path of some pretty serious and often irreversible damage.
Let me just be crystal clear about this. The dental damage you get from bruxism is permanent. Your tooth enamel is the hardest stuff in your entire body, but it does not grow back. Once it's gone, it is gone for good.
And that 250 pounds of force, it leads to some pretty catastrophic results. It can start with just a little wear, but over time it can lead to teeth that are totally flattened and shortened, constant chipping and fractures, and extreme sensitivity because that protective enamel is just gone. It can destroy expensive dental work and, in the worst cases, can lead to root canals or even having teeth pulled.
But the damage doesn't just stop at your teeth. It radiates outward.
Those chronic headaches, especially in your temples, classic symptom. The jaw muscles get sore and can actually get bigger from the constant workout. This can lead to jaw joint problems, or TMD, with all that clicking and popping and pain that can spread all over your face, neck, and shoulders.
Okay, that was a lot. It's a serious problem. But here's the good news. It is absolutely manageable. So let's switch gears and talk about the action plan. Let's talk about how you can take back control.
For awake bruxism, your superpower is awareness. Seriously. The first step is just to constantly check in with your jaw. You can even set little reminders on your phone. Lips together, teeth apart. From there, it's all about actively reducing stress, whether that's through a workout or meditation. And finally, take a hard look at your habits. Improving your sleep routine and cutting back on things like caffeine and alcohol, especially later in the day, can make a world of difference. These are simple things you can literally start tonight.
But what about that grinding that happens when you're asleep? You can't just consciously will that to stop. For sleep bruxism, protection is the name of the game, and that's where you've got to bring in the pros.
The main tool in the toolbox for this is an occlusal splint, which most of us just call a night guard. And it is so important to understand this. A night guard does not cure bruxism. It's a protective shield. Think of it like a helmet for your teeth. Its job is to absorb and spread out those insane grinding forces to stop any more permanent damage from happening.
And look, not all guards are created equal. Not by a long shot. Those over-the-counter ones might seem like a good deal, but their bad fit can sometimes make your jaw problems even worse. A custom-fitted guard from your dentist is the gold standard. Depending on what you need, you might get a soft one for comfort, a hard acrylic one for maximum protection if you're a heavy grinder, or even a hybrid that gives you the best of both worlds. So we've covered the what, the why, and the how-to. But really, it all comes back to that one single point of awareness. So I'll just leave you with this one question. Right now, in this very moment, are your teeth touching? Is your jaw in neutral?